So, ESPN Football Forecast Team of the Season. Yes, it's time for the Black Tuxes, the awards to be handed out. And the good news is they all look like your Sunday League trophies as well. Absolutely. At this time of the season.
Lovely, that's nice to see. We both put our teams together. Let's begin. Let's not mess about. I'm going to go with the back line first. This is my team. And well done, production team, for getting my name spelled correctly. I've gone with Sarr in goal. He's been absolutely fantastic. People won't talk about him. And Alisson's been great as well. I think he's second in line. Edouard Mendy had a good start to the season. Second half has fallen away in terms of those clean sheets. But he has prevented 11 goals. That is astonishing for Sarr. And actually, if you look at the XG, expected points, and add that up, without him saving those saves, they would be in 14th place this year. It's one where people won't talk about him that much. Cost nothing as well. That was a really easy pick for me. Him for Wolves came in, and big shoes to fill as well, of course. In the defence. So you've got Cancelo, Van Dijk, Matip, and Alexander-Arnold. You've got something a little bit different. I put Cancelo very close with Robertson on that left-hand side. Robertson's actually got a few more assists. The centre-backs had to be Van Dijk and Matip for me, just because they're so exposed so often. And then on the right-hand side, Alexander-Arnold, assist machine, incredible throughout the entirety of the season, so crucial in how Liverpool play. So he has to be in my back line.
I've cheated a little bit with mine. I've got to say, I'll just pick up on the fullbacks to begin with, because I was thinking about who to choose at left back.
Yep.
And Andrew Robertson and Joao Cancelo, I couldn't really separate. I think they've both been absolutely brilliant for their teams. The reason I love Robertson so much is, look, we talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is in your team, and the creativity going forward, but I just want a little bit of extra steel from my player at fullback, and that's why I've gone for Robertson.
Our teams are going to be down the other end of the pitch.
Oh, well,
you're missing the point here.
I just think Robertson, that energy, that endeavour, I think he is basically faultless in terms of his game, and that is why I chose him. I think Joao Cancelo has been an integral part of the team that probably will win the Premier League title. And so for that reason, I think I had to include him. Ruben Dias, I absolutely love. I know a lot of people will argue this and say that there have been better centre-backs for various different reasons. But I still think on his day, he's probably up there with Van Dijk in terms of the best centre-backs in the league. Maybe a little bit harsh on Joel Matip, but I think if it's choosing my team of the season, again, a Premier League title on the way. And when he wasn't in the team, I think it was still a bit of a shock for Manchester City to really get through that period. I had to put Alisson in goal. I've got to say, I had to put Alisson in goal. He saved Liverpool at times. He saved Liverpool at times when called upon. He's not just made... This is the thing. There aren't a huge number of saves, but the quality of the saves that he has made in key moments, massive for Liverpool. I had to choose him.
It's very unique, but for me, if Sarr, what's Sarr got to do? He's going to prevent 11 goals more than any to do. Oh, copyright strike. Yeah, that's the difference for me. Matip is progressive carries as well. 8 a game is an absolute joke, so that's why he had to go in for me. Let's have a look at your midfield then. Take me through that. There's one I'm not happy with at all.
Kevin De Bruyne, sensational. Bernardo Silva wasn't really in the Manchester City team last year.
He's going to go, isn't he?
Exactly. He was given an added role. Actually, he started the season in the front three for City, dropped back into central midfield for some of their big games recently. Just the energy, the quality, the endeavour. Scored loads of goals in the first half of the season. Important goals. I say loads, but for him, a good amount of goals chipping in for Manchester City. De Bruyne is pure class for me. There's only a conversation, one other player for me for being a better player in the Premier League than him. I chose Fabinho because I think he's just a little bit more tenacious. He's a little bit more aggressive in that central midfield area. Again, I think that's what I wanted. When I thought about who is the ideal holding midfielder for me, quality on the ball, tough in the tackle, I had to go for Fabinho.
I think he shines because of the system a lot of the time with Liverpool. Rodri's actually scored a lot of goals, but isn't even in my team, actually. I've gone with someone a little bit different. Bernardo Silva, totally agree with you with that one. I mean, I think he's probably one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League for me, because people just don't talk about him because they're concentrating on Grealish or De Bruyne or whoever it might be. Outrageous work rate, can play in a double pivot, can play on the right, can play as an attacking midfielder, can play as a false nine. Outrageous season for him. I've gone for Declan Rice, a little bit different there. As a 6 or as an 8, he's been absolutely crucial for West Ham. And I think that's what's made West Ham great at times. Not always got the quality, but got players who can play in 2 different positions a lot of the time. 6 for progressive carries, but also his defensive numbers are amazing as well. And then we've got Joelinton. Oh, yes.
Is this a typo?
Come on.
What's going on here?
Look, Joelinton has changed one of the most defensive, deep teams into a team that can press. Also, when you look at his numbers, it doesn't really tell you the truth because he was playing as a striker for the first 2/3 of the season. He's absolutely revolutionised himself as a midfield destroyer, one of the best in the league. And most importantly, often we focus on the best teams, and I get that. And this is a team of the season. Maybe not the best team, but a team of the season. And Joelinton and the role that he's played and how that facilitated so much for Newcastle has kept them up, in my opinion. And it's just such a turnaround that's why I put Joelinton in there.
I think that's harsh, I've got to say, on a lot of players.
I think there's other options, but I've got Joelinton.
Let's go to the forward line. Standout players for me. It was an easy pick. Let's start with Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think that's one that a lot of people will debate, maybe more so than the other two. He was meant to be the problem, wasn't he, for Manchester United? He was meant to be the reason that things didn't quite click. As an individual player, team of the season, centre forward, 37 years old, to do what he's done for Manchester United in terms of keeping them in Europe, basically single-handedly. He has been their best performer this year. The quality is still there.
Yep.
To be doing it, I think, you think of the other number 9s in the Premier League, top draw, there's Harry Kane, who didn't really start until the second half of the season.
Only on 13 goals this year.
Through the middle, I think it had to be Ronaldo.
I agree with you. This is the worst Man United side I think we've ever seen in the Premier League. And they've got him in there. He's got 18 goals. Think of the games against Spurs, the games against Norwich, where he scored those goals. Great point about the Champions League as well. Mine is actually the same. Oh, this is my team. We've got the same front line. We have. So Mason Mount, I thought was hard done by with the goal involvements that he's had this year. I think the focus has been on other people, so he hasn't been able to shine as much in terms of getting those column inches maybe. But the front three, we've both gone with the same too. Son has scored 20 goals with an XG of 13. That's disgusting. He shouldn't be scoring that many goals, but he has done so. Salah has fallen off in the second half of the season. Since he came back from AFCON, he scored nearly over half a goal a game less than he did in the first half, but he's still the top scorer. And I think you're right with Ronaldo. I think he's been astonishing for such a poor team. My notable mention is Mount. I've gone the wrong way. You've gone for someone a little bit different, but same front three.
I've gone for Jarrod Bowen, actually, as my honourable mention. People talk about him having a big move maybe to the likes of Liverpool, being understudy for Salah. Who knows if he doesn't sign that contract, maybe even a replacement. He would certainly suit one of those high-pressing, high-intensity teams at the top of the league. He's added goals.
20 goal involvements this year.
Just unbelievable for a player who was at Hull City, who took time to come to the Premier League. Teams turned down the chance to sign him. I think he's had a superb season for West Ham. One of their best players. I can only apologise that I left out Declan Rice in the end. But very similar front three. Heung-min Son, also integral for Tottenham Hotspur. So the front three, nice and easy. That's my team of the season. Right,
guys, you've seen our team of the season. Let us know yours in the comments below. And if you're a Newcastle fan, help me out with the comments as well for Joelinton. Cheers.
Thanks for watching Football Forecast. For more great content, make sure you're subscribed to ESPN UK.